Hi everyone, today I am going to teach you all how to create a website application. We're going to be creating a really cool app with Angular, which is a JavaScript framework. JavaScript is a coding language that people use, and it's typically used with HTML, which is what you see over here. This is all HTML right over here. So we're going to use an online website, and it's called stackblitz.com. So if you open up something like Google Chrome, you'll be able to go to stackblitz.com. Now we're going to be doing this with Angular, so we're going to click on this. And what we're going to be creating today is we're going to be creating a really cool Littlest pet shop app. So let's go ahead and first find our Littlest pet shop. Find a little baby Littlest pet shop. So if you go to littlestpetshop.com, or sorry, .hasbro.com, you'll be able to see all these cool Littlest pet shops right here. What I like to do is I like to go and find classic. That's the sizing. See, you have a scale size. And then, you can go to collections and you can say maybe you want to do cats. So we'll see all these little cats. We can do something like mainly fluff tail. So we'll come back to this, but let's go ahead and first set up our application. So now in your Angular application, right, we clicked on Angular. Now all we have to do is we can go to App, open up that folder, and you can go to this HTML file. Remember what I said we were using, we were going to use HTML to write things out. So I'm opening up my HTML file right here, and I can do things like add something maybe that says welcome to my Littlest pet shop app. And there you go. Do you see that? Welcome to my Littlest pet shop app. So we don't need this thing on the top right here. Now, one of the first tricks is figuring out how to get things to appear. So the great thing about the internet and the great thing about HTML is that all you have to do is Google it. So first thing what we can do is maybe we want this to be a little bit bigger, right? Right now you see it's in a P tag. This is called a paragraph tag. So let's Google something. Let's say, how do I make text on HTML bigger? Remember, we're using HTML as the technology. Okay, so if I go ahead and click on that, I will be able to see that I can use something like, well, no, the big tag is not supported. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. So maybe we say HTML tags. Let's see what pops up there. Okay, so we'll click on headings, and what we want is we can have all these examples of different headings. So as you can see over here, you have heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and each of them becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's try to pick this heading 1 over here. So you see that there's an H1 right over here, right? So let's go ahead and change in our website, go back to our page, and let's change the P's to be H1s. H1. There we go, and it says, welcome to my Littlest pet shop app. That's great. Okay, and you can always test around things, right? Like if we change it to H2, for example, whoops, you'll see that it's H2. So the great thing is, as you're changing this stuff, you can see that it's telling us that we have an error. So another thing about HTML tags is you'll notice that they always start and end with the same thing. So you have little brackets right here, and then if you want to end it, you have this little end slash over here, and then you can put anything else inside it. Like you can say, inside these, you can say hi. There you go, I have a little hi. So let's go ahead and figure out, now that we have this thing that says, welcome to my Littlest pet shop app, let's go ahead and figure out how to add an image. So I can just Google again, how do I add an image to HTML? And if I Google that, I will be able to see, if I go to this W3 schools thing right here, I'll be able to see that do you see there's this thing that's image over here, and then it's going to have a source, and it's pulling that source. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste that. I'm going to put it in here. This is the great part about anything you play with. You can basically play around with it. So this is, source is the URL, right? Like we're on stackblitz.com, that's a URL. And then alt is the alternative text. So now because it's not pulling up the image, this pulpitrock.jpg, the alternative text is Mountain View that's showing up. But let's go ahead and try to get one of our Littlest Pet Shop images. So if we right click on mainly Fluffy Tail, you'll be able to see this open image in new tab. So let's go ahead and open that image in a new tab, and what you should just see is mainly Fluffy Tail right here. We can go ahead and take that and we can paste that over here and into our source, because that's the URL right there. Oh my gosh, and look, little mainly Fluffy Cat is right there. Mainly Fluffy Cat, in case something doesn't pop up. Now what we can do is we can maybe use something like, you know, H1 is the biggest, right? So maybe we want to use H3, and we can say this is mainly Fluffy Cat. And maybe you want to create a collection of Littlest Pet Shops. So maybe you can say my Littlest Pet Shop collection. And you can say this is mainly Fluffy Cat. My mom got her for me on my 8th birthday. Right? And then maybe let's try another one. So try to find another Littlest Pet Shop. Let's try to find maybe the bugs and see what the bugs have. Okay, so if all these little baby bugs here, this one looks like a little butterfly, so Fania farfalla. Go ahead and right click again, click open image in new tab, and then we have this little image right here, see? And let's copy and paste that, and we're going to do this image source equals alt is Fania farfalla. Right? If I close that tag with that little arrow right here, then we have Fania farfalla. And I might want to say something like, I might want to add an H3 again and say Fania farfalla is my second favorite little pet. And then a little H3 right there, and then we'll see that we have that over here. We might want to add more information, like you might want to use like an H5 tag to make it smaller and say date received, you know, November 13th, 2017, and H5. There we go. November 13th, 2013. So we can do that again, and you can add when you got Fania farfalla. So maybe you got her on November 1st. Another cool thing is you can also get things like a marquee tag. A marquee tag is a really fun tag. So we're just going to add a marquee at the end and the back. Ooh, that was interesting. Right? And now we have little Fania farfalla, who is marquee. Look how cute she is. Yeah. So let's go ahead and add a little marquee as well. We can add a little marquee to mainly Fluffy Cat. So, you know, it's great because you can just play around and you can see all the different cool things you can build and create with websites. So now we got these two going around like that. It's pretty cute, right? So that's how you can do something like build a Littlest Pet Shop app. And let's say you want to change a color, right? So we can go to something like changing, styling, and things like that. It's called CSS. You can go to w3schools.com if you like and go to CSS, and you can go colors. And so these are all the different colors that you can do. And you see you can do things like style equals background color Dodger blue. So we can try that. And then we can go to this, and maybe we want the style over here. Look at that, Dodger blue. We can even change that to like red. You know, you can change that to green. You can change that to brown. Right? Pretty cool, right? We can even do things like, this is the background color, but maybe we just don't want the color, the font color. Look at that. So now we have the font color to be brown, or we can change it to be green, or we can change it to be red. And let's go ahead and do that for Fania Farfalla as well. We added that, and if you remember, that's the background color. But if we want just the color, we can keep that to be the color right there. And now the color is that. And, you know, you can make it green, for example. Now that you have that, what's really cool is now you can basically share this. So see this URL right here? Now I can go to anything, and you can email this to anybody if you like, whatever you want, text it to somebody, and if you text them that URL, you'll see that all of a sudden it's on a website. So anybody can do this. Like, I can go to Facebook, for example, and I can post this to my friends. Let's see. Let's say I made a Littlest pet shop app with Angular and Stacklets. And then I paste that URL. And if I paste that URL right there, I can post it. And then somebody can click on that, anybody can click on that, and it'll take them to what you created. There you go. See? And you know what's really cool is you can actually change this too. So you can say, like, you know, maybe you change your mind and you say Fania Farfalla is your first favorite little pet, right? So I changed it over here. It's changed over here. But now if I go here, oh my gosh, look, it's changed already over here. That is a really easy way to get started programming, very easy with Stacklets, and you can do it anytime you like.